This is Travis with Siler Instrument, and we're going to show you how to post-process with the WISCORS system because we've got all the Opus base stations down. I'm sorry, the NGS base stations are not recording any data, making that accessible to us. We're going to show you how to use the Wisconsin system here. So what I've got right now in Pathfinder Office is a single SSF file with some data that was just collected locally here. And I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of information off of that. So first of all, I want to know when I first started collecting data. So if you open up your file on your feature properties, you can click on first here, and I can see October 3rd at 3:34 is when the file was started. So what I want to do is actually round down on the hour there. So I'm going to go ahead and say 3 o'clock. Now I also want to know when or how long my file was. So I'm going to click on the last point here, and I'm going to say, take a look there and see, okay, 4 o'clock p.m. I'm going to round up, so if it was 3:59, I'd round up to 4, but because it's at 4, I'm going to go ahead and round up to 5. So I log data from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, or I'm going to provide the information that I log data from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So that's a 2-hour duration there. You also do want to check here. If you weren't the one collecting the data, somebody else was, you may want to check to make sure that you have the times correct here. So just go ahead and go up to options and time zone settings and just make sure that that's the case. So central day is from March to November. November to March is going to be the standard time. So just a little bit of a reminder there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop over to WISCORS here, or the Internet Explorer, and go to wiscors.dot.wi.gov, and then we're going to go ahead and click on the WISCORS web server on the left side here. All right, so sometimes it takes a minute or two to open. You should see if you have a username and password. If not, you'll have to request one from the service there. But once you've logged in, you should see Reference Data Shop on the left side here. If you don't have it, if you see a bunch of other stuff here but no Reference Data Shop, then what you're going to want to do is send off an email to the WISCORS administration team and request for access to that. By default, they don't provide that. They just provide access to the real-time services. So just request that if you don't have it there. So going to the Reference Data Shop here, we're going to go ahead and start a new order. We're going to pick cores in this case. Alright, so I'm going to pick the base station closest to me here. That would be SHON in this case. If I click on the triangle representing that reference station, it's going to go ahead and select it on the text list on the right side there. And we're going to go ahead and say next for the time selection. So we're going to provide it a date, so it was October 3rd. The start time was 3 o'clock, so that's in a 24-hour format, that would be 15 hours. The duration time was, 3 o'clock to 5, so that was 2 hours. And our interval is going to be 5 seconds. So I see I've got a reminder here that's telling me to add time on to adjust myself to UTC time. So I actually do need to do that because 15 was the local time. I'm going to go ahead and add 5 to that. And then I should explain the interval. You could go up to 1 second. It's not going to hurt anything. The benefit isn't going to be recognizable in most cases. You probably want to keep it right at 5 seconds. Any less than that, you might notice a little bit of a degradation in some of your positional accuracy, but really going any more than that isn't going to produce any kind of a recognizable benefit. So go ahead and click next when you've got that set. Now we're at our summarization screen. Go ahead and give everything this look over here, and if it's acceptable, you can go ahead and click next again. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just download the data. It's just one session for a couple hours. If I were doing, say, a week or a long extent of data, I might want them to send me the data by email or download the data manually, but be notified by email when the data is generated. The format I'm also going to want is RINEX 2.11. So once you've got that set, go ahead and generate the data. This may take a moment or two. when it's done generating the data, it's going to take you to this finished screen, and you can just click on next to go to the order details again. And now you'll see there's a download button at the bottom. Go ahead and click that, and it's going to go ahead and offer you a prompt down here to download. I'm just going to save mine to the default downloads directory that I use with Internet Explorer, and then I'll just point to that location when I get into Pathfinder Office here. So let's go ahead and switch to Pathfinder Office. I've got this file open right now, and you can see that the point here is accurate to 23 inches, so I can tell it's not been post-processed yet. Let's go ahead and open up our differential correction wizard. Alright, so that file is in there. I'm going to go ahead and say next here. Using a single base provider, as that's really the only method when you're using WISCORS. Multiple base providers could potentially work, but being that the WISCORS network is so dense, there wouldn't be any benefit at all to that. You're never going to be more than very far away from a single base station. I'm going to go ahead and accept those defaults as well. Alright, so now I have to browse to my order here. Typically you'd use this base provider search and pick the closest station. In this case, we're going to go ahead and browse to our recently downloaded file here, which is order_34.zip. And I also want to make sure that in this case I'm using the reference position from base file. You could use a reference position from base provider and create the position in there. The Trimble software, for standardization's sake, likes the ITRF 2000 EPIC 97 if you are going to use the reference position from a base provider. But in this case, we're going to adopt the datum of the reference station, which is NAD 83 2011, and that's there's more information published by WISCORS on that. So I'm going to go ahead and click next here, and I'm going to accept my defaults and push start, and we'll go ahead and see that we do have 100% coverage here. It should look pretty normal, except it didn't actually have to download the data in the first step there, so it skips over it quite quickly. We'll let this go for just another moment here and take a look at our results when it's done processing. Okay, 100% processed at between 5 and 15 centimeters. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and open up my processed file here just to take a look. Sure enough, when I look at this point, the horizontal precision was 3.9 inches. So it came out quite nicely there. So if you have any questions, go ahead and contact us at the email here and we can help you out with it. Thanks.